started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my songs. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. Of course, my name is AJ, one of the mentors here, and today we are, as always, going to run through the Bitcoin technical analysis. We're going to take a look at what is currently happening, what we can kind of look for next, and of course, as always, those next trades that I am, of course, interested in taking. So that's what we will cover, of course, today. So if that does sound interesting, please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button up. Smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And I did say as well, at 500 subscribers, I would do a $500 giveaway. So yeah, once we get to that target, I will be doing that giveaway. And to be entered, of course, you do have to be subscribed. But yeah, enough of that. Let's jump into the charts and take a look at what is going on. I will just fill up my glass quickly. Right, so I mean today we have seen I say today, it was kind of like yesterday, right? And a bit of today. We have seen price kind of rise. I do understand that if we take a look at the stock market, right, the stock market has been seeing a little bit of an increase, of course, as well. I know that Tesla has done quite well today, so that could be what is bringing price up, of course. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of just seeing, if you look at Bitcoin and if you look at the ES, you can see they're pretty similar, right? They're pretty similar. So we are kind of just following the stock market at this moment in time. Which is fine, okay, which is absolutely fine. And I mean, we are looking at, of course, at this bit of a rise here. Now, I mentioned to the team this morning over in the Discord that we could be looking at a potential rise for the completion of wave B, right, for then a move down to, of course, complete wave C. And the reason why I have been considering this is, of course, because this move up, right, has been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish count, right? And after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish count, or in the case of a bearish count as well, we are looking for a bit of an ABC correction. Now, whether that be a small ABC correction like this, continuing to hold this bullish trend that we are in, or could it be a bigger ABC correction? We do not know. Okay, all I am looking for is some sort of ABC correction, okay, to kind of get a little bit of an understanding of, okay, right, is this the end of a possible pullback? Okay, because we are experiencing a pullback at this point, right? But if we can finish some sort of ABC correction, okay, then I know, right, there's probably a higher chance that once that is, once that's been formed, we are getting close to forming a higher low, possibly. Okay, of course, if we form a much bigger A wave, right, bigger B wave, okay, bigger C wave, right, of course that could be breaking this very bullish structure that we are in. Okay, but like I said, if we can if we can create a bit of a smaller ABC correction, of course, continue to hold that bullish structure that we are in, right, we can be looking, of course, and it will give me a bit more confidence, right, when looking for a long trade in this area. Okay, because then I know that the ABC correction that we tend to see after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count, okay, has been completed. Right, so yeah, this area here, of course, if we bring up the analysis, we've got GP. That's from the previous. We don't actually need that one anymore, so we can get rid of that. Have I got it here? Here we go. Yeah. So from the previous low, okay, to the, of course, most recent high, we've pulled a GP 786, right? And that GP 786 is coming in between 61,143 and 62,000. Let's call it 63,000, right? 63,000. Okay. So we have a bit of a zone of support here, in my opinion. Okay, but we of course want to look for confluence, right? So we're bringing up the naked points of control. We do actually have a weekly naked point of control at 62,280. So the confluence there is actually really good. It is looking really good for possible high area of support. Okay, a strong area of support, right? Where of course, if we do see price pulling back into it, right, we start to show some signs of strength here. Okay, we can look, of course, for another higher high. Why? Because of course we would be continuing, right, that bullish structure by doing so. Okay, we can be looking for price to continue that bullish structure. Now, doesn't mean, right, that I'm going to set a big buy limit order here. Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Okay, because we could come down here and we could actually look bearish, right? We could lose the support pretty quickly, right? And then it could lead to, of course, losing this previous higher low, which, of course, in my opinion, would be quite bearish. The reason why I believe that would be quite bearish is because, of course, we are at this moment in time still technically in bearish structure, like high time frame bearish structure. Yes, okay, zooming in a little bit, we are in now bullish structure. But remember, okay, we've been in this bearish structure for a very long time, over 6 months, 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it is. Okay, we've been in this bearish structure. Okay, now over the past few months, right, over the past couple months, okay, yeah, three-ish months, right, we've actually been starting to form bullish structure. Okay, we've started to form bullish structure. This is really good. Okay, because again, we haven't seen that in a very long time. We haven't seen bullish structure, okay, since March, the start of March. So it's been a very long time, right? Now we're starting to form bullish structure. Great. But if we lose that, right, that is a big sign of weakness for me. Okay, that is a big sign of weakness, because then again, we haven't broken 70K. We're still in this very, higher time frame bearish structure. Okay, so of course, to continue this rise up, to continue to get close to all-time high, if not all-time high, right, of course, we want to see this bullish market structure continue. Okay, we want to see this continue. If we start to lose that, that's when I look at, okay, right, maybe we are looking for sub 50K again. Okay, but up until that point, I am happy, right? I'm happy to say, right, we can look for continuous higher highs. We can look for continuous higher lows, right? So on any pullback here, of course, I am going to be looking, like I said, for a long trade, only looking. Okay, because again, if we do not see what we want to see for a long trade, it could get to the bearish case scenario. We could be looking towards the bearish case scenario. Okay, so looking for a short trade down here, and what I would kind of be looking for down here, of course, is absorption, right? And I spoke about this in detail. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? But I have a feeling it was the day before yesterday. But we haven't seen what we are seeing now, okay, again, in a very long time, since probably even before March, to be honest with you, okay. And what that is actually big institutions and big players, big whales, whoever it may be, okay, just large players. I don't care who they are, okay. All I know is that they are large players, right, large players are getting involved in the market, okay, a little bit more vocally, right? Previously, yeah, okay, there were probably big players in, right? We can look at here, we can look at here, we can look at here. I do believe down here, right, there were a lot of big players here, right? But they weren't, I use the term vocal, right? As in, they are kind of like, they kind of, how should I put this? They are kind of going with, they're kind of going with what everybody is thinking, right? And I'll explain that as well. I probably didn't explain that great, but down here, right? I am, when I was looking at these long trades down here, okay, what happens, right? Of course, on these pullbacks, right? And we know, right, because we were looking at the order flow, we know what was happening. These pullbacks were, of course, fueled by longs getting stopped out, right? But then what happened, okay, is that there weren't enough, okay, sells coming into the market to continue, of course, pushing price lower, right? We ran out of sells, okay, and what that tends to, signal is, of course, all absorption, right? Because all of those sells into the market have been absorbed, right? So they have been absorbed, okay, whether it be big players, right, or whether it be just loads of retail traders. We don't always really know, but we know, okay, that they are getting absorbed because, of course, price then starts to reverse in the opposite direction. Of course, this is a trade that I like to look for every day. Okay, this is a trade I'm looking for every day. Of course, we longed each and every one of these lows. Okay, made some really, really nice profit on the way up. Okay, and that is that is a type of absorption, right? Whether they're big players here, we don't really know. Okay, they could be, right? We don't really know. But getting back to what I'm saying here is that big players being vocal, right? Because we know that these are big players getting in now, right? We know that the big players are coming into the market now, and the reason for that, of course, is if we take a look at the order flow without exiting it. If we take a look at the order flow, right, we can only see this bit here, but right, there was more absorption back here as well, okay? But we can see price is forming, of course, this higher, this bullish structure with this higher low, whereas, okay, the delta is actually building negative over time, right, telling us that there are more sells coming into the market rather than more sells coming into the market up here, right, than there was down here. Okay, however, price is looking very bullish, right? And what this indicates to us, right, is that there is a big player actually absorbing all of these sells that are coming into the market here, right? So someone is absorbing, and mainly these are a big player or a series of big players. Okay, we know that for a fact, right? Because it has to be a big, a big buy limit order at a specific level, pretty much, right? So we know, right, that the bigger players are getting very vocal here, right? They are looking for price. They're looking to buy up price, okay, on each of these pullbacks, right? And this is what has shifted in the market, right? This is what has shifted because prior to this, right, all back here, we did not see any signs of absorption. Okay, institutions, big players, they were just happy to let price, okay, go lower and lower, right? Because we were probably seeing a lot of them shorting up here. Okay, we were probably seeing a lot of them shorting up here because we also had a lot of absorption up here as well, right? Of course, a different type of absorption. We didn't have bearish CVD absorption there. We had a different type of absorption, which is, of course, swing failure patterns and failed auctions, right? They are classed as a type of absorption, right? But again, that type of absorption isn't really, you can't really specify who is or, what is absorbing price up there. Okay, but here, right, we can specify these are big players here. Okay, absorbing price action. Okay, and this is, something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time, and this is probably why we are starting to see a bit of a shift, as in we are starting to look quite bullish now because we are finally starting to see those big players vocally buy up. Okay, and we could continue to see this. right? So on a pullback here, we could continue to see this, right? Looking, of course, for a long trade in this area. And again, if we're looking at this absorption, right, at this moment in time, it's a little bit too early to tell, right? It's a little bit too early to tell. But if we do continue to see this ABC correction, we come down a little bit further, right? This C wave could possibly end, right, at or around this naked point of control, right? Where, of course, we're looking at the order flow, right? We want to see, okay, are there more sells coming in on this ABC correction than there was on this pullback here? Okay. Are there more sells up here than there were down here? Okay. Because if there are, right, if there are more sells that happen here, okay, and price is still remaining bullish, as in, we're holding that, that higher low, okay, then we know, right, that there is a big player or a series of big players buying up all of these sells that are coming in, right? And what tends to happen? What happened here? What happened here? Okay, well, what happened is price reversed in the opposite direction. Okay, so we can look for the exact same thing here as we saw right back here and back here. And remember, right, again, if you are a regular watcher, okay, or a visionary member, you will know I was looking for a long trade here. I was also looking for a long trade here. Unfortunately, right, both of these long trades happened at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So I was unable to enter into those trades. But publicly, I was speaking about these levels, right? I was speaking about these levels on the daily market updates with the team on the Discord as well. Okay, we were talking about all of this, right? So I made it very, very, I was very vocal about these levels, right? And I made it very clear, and I was talking about these levels as possible opportunities to get into trades, into long trades, right? At both of these times, we saw a rise up. Okay, so all I'm doing here is the exact same thing that I was saying on each one of these pullbacks here. Okay, that this, right, is a good or possibly a good opportunity to enter into a long trade. Of course, I need to see everything aligning, right? I need to see, okay, price coming into this level, right? I need to see price actually holding this level, right? Because if we just lose the level, then it's not, it's not got any relevance, right? Revelation. So we want to see price respecting that level whilst, okay, seeing some sort of absorption. Okay, we want to see indications of big players or a big player coming into the market and absorbing all of the sells that possibly come in, right? And the reason why we need this at this moment in time is because this is what's been holding the market up, right? This is what has been holding the market up, right? Because if we did not see absorption here, where would price have gone? It would have gone for a new low. If we did not have a big player or a series of big players coming in here, we would go down for a new low. Okay, and the reason why we didn't go down for a new low is because we had absorption. Okay, the same thing applies here. If we did not get that absorption in, all right, we probably wouldn't have held this bullish structure. Okay, and we probably would have gone down and just gone back into bearish structure. Okay, and the same thing applies here, right? If we do not get it, okay, it's looking unlikely that we're going to continue to hold this bullish structure. But if we do get this bullish absorption, okay, down here, absorbing all of the sells, then this is looking really, really good for another rise up. Okay, this is looking really, really good for another rise up. Okay, and I'm really, really, really confident on this trade here if and only if we see the absorption at the level. Okay, why am I confident on that? Right, because I have an understanding, okay, of what these big players are thinking. I have an understanding of what these big players are also doing, okay, not just thinking, but doing as well, right? These big players, they want to hold this market up and they want to drive this market up as well, right? If they didn't want to do that, they wouldn't be buying here. They wouldn't be buying here, okay? And we can very clearly see that they are buying here, right? So for me, okay, I'm quite confident, right? Again, I understand I am a retail trader. I do understand that. I don't like to put myself in that group of retail traders and class myself as a retail trader because we know what retail traders are like. Okay, I like to trade against these retail traders, right? That is what I like to do. Again, I like to think more like an institutional trader. I'm not an institutional trader. I know that. Okay. I am just a retail trader, but I like to think and trade like an institutional trader. Why? Because they've been around for the longest, right? They make the most money in the market and they will be around for the longest time. Okay. Those are the real people, okay, and businesses, companies who actually make money in these markets. So if you do what they do, okay, you have a much, much higher chance of actually making money in these markets, right? A much higher chance, okay? And okay, right, maybe, right, in terms of, taking trades that institutions are taking, right, maybe you have to be a little bit more patient, right? Because what you have to remember nowadays, okay, these big institutions, they are not taking, they are not day trading, right? They are taking bigger, longer term positions, swing trades, right? That's what they are doing, right? Nowadays, it's more long term investments, right? Okay, so we have to understand that, okay, to see a big trade like this one here, or this one down here, or potentially the one that we're gearing up to have here, okay, we have to be a little bit more patient, okay? We know the probabilities on the trade are extremely high. They're through the roof, okay, in my opinion. The probabilities on all of these trades are just off the charts, okay, in our favor, right? And that does require us to be a bit more patient, okay? We have to wait a bit more patiently, right, for these trades, okay? But they will come, right? They will come. And that's exactly what I'm looking for now. I know that towards the downside for a possible long trade, this right here is the highest probability long trade, the highest probability long trade. Anything below that, okay, that's a different story, right? Anything above that, right, is lower probability than this trade here, okay? Any long trade from here, whatever price, I don't care. I know, right, that the highest probability trade setup is from this area here, okay? Right, maybe, right, like this this example here, maybe we do not make it down to that area of interest, right? This is what we did here. We actually front run it by maybe about $1,000 here, okay? We did front run it, and this was actually a level of interest for me down here. Okay, this is where I was actually looking at trying to get into a long trade to take advantage of this rise up here, right? But again, if you are a regular watcher, if you were watching back here, what I was also saying is we have to look out for this level here, because we had this naked point of control here at 60,145. We also had a high area of liquidity here at this major pivot point. So this was an area to be aware of. And that's, actually where we reversed from, right? We got a swing failure pattern. We held that naked point of control, right? We had lots of long trades actually getting stopped out down here, but we also saw some short trades opening up here as well. So there was a reason for price to rise, okay? And again, we can kind of be a little bit aware of that this time around as well, okay? Where we have, of course, this pivot point here, okay? And if you look, it's kind of similar, right? On a bit of a smaller scale, right? Where we've seen a pullback, a rise, and then potentially another pullback here, okay? Pullback, rise, pullback, okay? And we could, of course, see a possible long trade from here, right? At this moment in time, okay? Yeah, that is a possibility. I understand it, but probabilities, I'd still prefer to look for this level here. Reason being is because I just don't see the perfect confluence at this level, right? We've got a naked point of control of $66,300, but it's quite far away from, of course, this major pivotal low that I'm interested in, okay? And that's the only naked point of control that we have close to it, right? Of course, this one here is now tapped, okay? I've marked it as tapped, right? So we can't really go off of that naked point of control anymore, right? So yeah, right, let's be aware of this level here, okay? Let's monitor what happens at that level. Maybe we get a scenario like this one here, where we actually front run the intended level we're looking to take the trade, okay? But again, going back to it, this is the level which I'm focusing on and looking for. I will be aware, again, of a possible trade from higher prices, but probabilities, for me, this is the highest probability trade, right? So I'll be looking for that area, and I'm remaining patient for that area as well. And we could actually see a rise from here, right? Maybe this could have just been the pullback. We go up from here, right? That's also fine, okay? I'm not just looking at the bearish to bullish case, right? We can also look for the bullish to bearish case, which works both ways as well. We have to remember, okay? Even with the bearish to bullish case, it works both ways, right? We could go up for the short trade here, down for the long trade here, up, okay? That's kind of what we could be looking for. Or we could look at it in the opposite direction. And again, it works the same, right? We come down for the long trade, we go up for the short trade, and we come back down, right? And then, of course, we're not going to go too far ahead of ourselves, but, you know, you could either go down from here, okay, or we could, you know, look for another long trade, okay? But yeah, we won't get too far ahead of ourselves there. Let's focus on what's happening at this moment in time, right? So like I said, up, right, is for me is a short trade. Looking up towards $71,000, let's say, okay, I'm looking for a short trade there. I know the resistance there is strong, okay, I know we've got a high liquidity level at 70,000, which is also a big psychological level, okay, and I understand that a huge portion of the market right now is incredibly bullish, right? I know that they are looking at, of course, where are we? This bull flag here, okay, I understand they're looking at this bull flag here, right? We haven't seen what I want to see here in terms of the longs, right? So maybe they're waiting patiently for a 70K to be broken, and then maybe we see the longs coming in, like, and I mean a lot of longs, right? A lot of longs, like hundreds of millions, okay, on Bybit alone, right? And of course, if we come into that resistance, we see, of course, those longs being absorbed. We then see price pull back. For me, this is very bearish, and we can look for a possible short trade, whether that be a big pullback, okay, or just a little pullback. I don't care. I'm just looking, of course, at taking advantage of that possible pullback, however big it is. Okay, so that's my plan at this moment in time, right? That is my plan. Those are the two levels that I'm interested in. Okay, reason being is because I know that these levels, okay, are the highest probability trade setups, right? What do I mean by that? Okay, well, I mean they are the highest probability trade setups because they have the highest probabilities, okay, of playing out, right? And why do they have the highest probabilities of playing out? Well, first of all, this one, okay, because there's potential for big institutions, big players to be buying up here, right? We know, okay, that a lot of the time they are right, okay? And of course, that increases our probabilities, right? And the vice versa, of course, is up here. If we see lots of long trades opening up into resistance, price begins to pull back, okay? What do we know about retail traders? Well, the majority of the time they are wrong, okay? And a huge amount of long trades, of course, have already opened up. And if a huge amount opens up here, we form trap traders. There is a high probability that we are going to see price pull back, okay? Because we know what retail traders are like. We know that they over leverage, over position, okay? And they get wrecked very, very quickly, right? So that in itself, again, is a high probability trade setup, right? Because we see it happen time and time and time again, right? And it plays out the exact same way, right? The exact same way, right? We've, you know, the proof, okay, is it has been, if you've been watching the channel for a good 7 months, right? All of this longs, all it was longs opening up, then they all got wrecked. Same here, all longs opening up, they all get wrecked. All longs here, a lot of them get wrecked. Of course, we had a bit of a shift here because then we started to see absorption. But, you know, even back here, all longs all got wrecked, right? All longs, a lot of them got wrecked, okay? So, yeah, we know, right? We know what retail traders are like. So, of course, we're looking to, of course, take advantage of when they are wrong, okay, which is pretty much every single time. Okay, and again, that's going back to what I was saying earlier with associating myself with retail traders. I do not like to do that. I do not like to put myself in that category. We kind of need to make a new category, I believe, because, yeah, I do not want to be, and I don't want anybody to be associated with that type of trading because we know how that type of trading ends. Again, I'm sure many of you guys here who are watching know how that ends as well, right? I've been through it. I'm sure many of you have been through it as well. And many of you may be going through it now, okay? But yeah, we do not want to trade like retail traders. We don't want to, we want to think like retail traders, okay? Because again, that's very valuable, right? Even though we don't want to trade like them, we do want to have that ability to still think like them, okay? Because if we think like them, of course, then we know what they're doing, okay? And then we can look to do the opposite, right? We can look to do the opposite. But yeah, if you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. It does really help me out, helps the channel out. And yeah, subscribe again if you haven't. I did say I'll be doing a $500 giveaway at 500 subscribers. So yeah, to be entered, of course, you do have to subscribe to the channel. We're almost halfway, But yeah, if you do have any questions as well, please do put those in the chat. And yeah, I mean, the stock market's pulling back now. It's to be expected, right? We saw a big rise, which would of course leave lots of single prints, and we know price likes to take single prints. Yeah, Bitcoin's following it a bit. But yeah, just going back onto that absorption, right? What we want to see for this, okay? What we want to see for this absorption, okay, is actually a bit of a slower grind down. We don't want to see a quick move down, okay? Because when there's a quick move down, right, normally, okay, we don't build enough cells, okay, to bring, of course, that CVD to where we want it, okay? So we want to see a bit of a slow grind down, okay, because a slower grind down equals more cells in the market, right, on a slower move down. If you just see one quick move down, okay, usually, right, it's just wrecking the long trades, okay, that's all it is, okay, and yeah, it also does lead for the CVD not showing any signs of bullishness, right? So yeah, for me, I want to look for a bit of a slower grind down to this area here, okay, before possibly looking for the long, because yeah, like I said, if we do go quickly down, we're probably not going to get the absorption that we want to see. So we kind of want to see pull back, bit of a rise, pull back, bit of a rise, okay? Just because then it builds the cells, right? It builds the cells up for us, okay, to get that absorption in this area for a long. Kind of like this, to be honest with you. Yeah, this wouldn't be too, like, if we just kind of like, I know it's horrible, boring, choppy price action, but that was really, really valuable there. That price action there was really valuable, okay, for, of course, causing that absorption. That's what we really, really needed to see. But yeah, I mean, if there are no questions, I will probably leave that there then. I've pretty much spoken about everything that I want to speak about. I've literally been very transparent. I've shared everything that I'm thinking, and of course, I do this on a day-to-day basis, and yeah, everything that I'm thinking is everything that I need. Okay, and everything that I've spoken about now is everything that I need in order to extract profits from these markets. So yeah, I will probably leave that there. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. Again, if you haven't, if you have, please do smash that thumbs up button, and of course, do subscribe if you are new, which will of course enter you into the giveaway at 500 subscribers for the $500 giveaway. Oh, I can see Mo. Good to see you, my friend. I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well. Still in the short, increased at 69,500. Yeah, so yeah, that was a really, really good increase, to be honest with you there, Dave. Mo. Yeah, sorry. That was a really, really good increase on your short there, because you timed the absolute high perfectly. And I remember you saying that as well, Mo. That was your plan. So yeah, again, stuck to your plan there, and it's of course well, hopefully played out. I'm not sure what your average entry is, but hopefully it has played out for you. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just being a little bit careful, of course, because we're in bullish structure. So we can't really expect price to come all the way down here. Of course, if we see something extremely bearish, then yeah, we can. Okay, but again, if we're starting to form absorption here, right, we have to remember it's looking likely for a rise up again. Okay, so yeah, that's just something that we have to be aware of. And again, this is going back to what I was doing all the way back here, right? I was keeping my short trades open for a longer period of time, okay, because price was in bearish structure, right? So we were making lower lows, right? And then I was keeping the long trades open for a shorter period of time because, of course, we were making lower highs, right? But now, okay, you kind of want to be viewing it in the opposite, right? Because we're in bullish structure, you want to be holding those longs open for longer, okay, and holding the short trades open for a shorter period of time, okay, because, of course, we are, again, in bullish structure, forming higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so yeah, that's all I would be thinking about here, to be honest with you. But yeah, again, I will leave that there. I hope you have enjoyed. Smash that thumbs up button, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next live stream. So take care, and of course, if you want access to the Discord, that's the first link in the description. Take care, and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back.